You got to have nerves of steel. Never let them know how you really feel. I've lived my whole life this way. Take, for example, what happened the other day. I breezed home happy, bringing her my pay. Her note read, "So long, Sappy, I have run away." I sat myself down across our empty bed, and this is what I said. But I was cool. So I won for the road at an all-night bar. End up so loaded I tore up my car. Judge threw the book at me. When my sentence was read, I looked the judge in the eye, and this is what I said.
Your Honor, what had happened was, you see, I'm a product of a broken home, and my daddy left me, and my mama, I didn't know, she left me.
But I was cool. Who I had to thank. So I caught up with that woman, pulled my 44 and fired point blank. Bullet whistled right past that woman's head. Shot my dog dead. As they carried me away, I was overheard to say, "Be cool, stay cool, be cool, be cool."
You're supposed to be dead.
Well, that certainly was something, wasn't it? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Odessa College. My name's Eric Baker, and I'm so pleased to serve as the chair of Visual and Performing Arts. And we have some very special guests. I want to introduce our theater director, Jennifer Little, who is going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing today and who these amazing guests are and what is it that we just saw. So take it away, Jennifer.
Thank you, Eric. I am so excited today to welcome Chuck and Lilli Cooper. From New York City, they're a Broadway dynasty in the making. I was lucky enough to live next door to Chuck for about 20 years, I guess, in North Bergen, New Jersey. And back in the day when I was working at the Majestic Theater across the street, there was a little musical happening at the same time. That while it was trudging along on Broadway, it managed to garner 13 Tony nominations, a handful of Drama Desk Awards, and 2 Tony Awards, including one to Mr. Cooper here for Best Supporting Actor in a musical for his role as Memphis in a musical called The Life. So Chuck and I became friends while he lived next door, which was amazing. And he started his Broadway career in his late 20s, I think, Chuck. And since then, he's done 17 shows on Broadway. I may have that wrong. There may be more. I last saw him in Shakespeare in the Park in Much Ado About Nothing, where he played Leonardo. Since then, he's also done film, television. I've seen him in Bull, Madam Secretary. There was a little Apple TV series that I watched the whole thing that I keep forgetting the name of. Anyway, his daughter Lilli decided that her father was just a slacker and obviously had not worked hard enough in his career. So she decided to make her Broadway debut while she was still in high school.
Wow.
Originating a role in Spring Awakening. And then since then, after graduating from Vassar, has been in SpongeBob and most recently was nominated for a Tony Award in her show Tootsie, playing Julie Nichols. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the two of them, let them tell you a little bit about themselves, about their journeys. And we are so grateful they're here with us today at Odessa College. They're going to talk a little bit about their journey to Broadway, about their paths. And then, amazingly enough, they're going to listen to a couple of Odessa College's musical performers and give some feedback on how to tell a story through song and how to do what they do and have continued to do so brilliantly. And then at the end, all of you will get a chance to ask them any sort of questions you would like to ask. Any questions about their careers, funny stories they might have from Broadway, anything like that, you can ask away, put it in the chat in Facebook, and it'll be sent to me and I will ask them. So feel free to start throwing those questions in and we will be gathering them as we go. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Chuck and Lilli and mute myself.
Hello.
What's up? Hi, guys.
Hi. How you doing? We're very happy to be here. Hi, Dad.
Good. Hi, Pumpkin.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
I'm watching them build your house.
Oh, I'm very excited. So you came first. So do you want to start first?
Okay. My story's a little bit longer. How did I get started in show business? Well, I often tell people, I feel bad about regaling Lilli again with this story because she's heard this many times. But I often say that I grew up in the theater because I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and my parents were amateur community theater actors in a little theater in Cleveland, Ohio called the Caramoo House, which is what they called then a settlement house, which was basically a community center where lots of things came together there. Childcare, I went to nursery school there. There was outreach to the community, and there was this theater. So not only did I go to nursery school in the theater, I went to nursery school in the theater that my parents acted in, specifically my father. My father did a lot of shows there. I've always known about the theater and been steeped in it. But I didn't think of it as a vocation until I went away to college. I had sung in the choir in junior high school and in high school, and my high school choir was quite an amazing choir. You had to audition to get in, and we toured the country, and we cut records. I have records of me in high school singing my little solo, which was Ain't Got Time to Die, which is kind of funny. I sang that, it's an old spiritual called Ain't Got Time to Die, which I once sang at a geriatric old folks home. That was really cute. Ain't Got Time to Die. But anyway, so I sang in the choir in high school, and when I went away to college, I only knew that I had to do something fun. That's all I knew. Because my father worked for United Airlines and hated his job. He was a porter. He carried bags. And so he was a black man carrying white folks' bags, and it was not pretty. So I just always knew that you spend a lot of time at work, so you should do something you like. And that's what I went away to college with in my head. Find something that I like. I kind of was leaning towards being a disc jockey. I thought, play records all day. That'll be fun. So I get to freshman orientation, thinking I'm going to go into radio communications or something like that. And my orientation advisor just happened to be the lighting design teacher, professor in the School of Theater. And you fill out, your little freshman orientation. What are your interests? La 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 thing. I filled mine out. And he suggested that I try the freshman theater track. And I thought, whoa, theater, I never thought of that. You could make money doing that. You can like have a career doing that. And you go, yeah, people make, it's doable. It's almost impossible, but it's doable. So I took his advice and got into the freshman track at Ohio University and started my acting training. And the freshman and sophomore tracks were, you just, went through the motions. But then to get into the sophomore and senior track, you had to audition for the studio, which was this fancy schmancy step that you had to get over in order to continue as an acting student. And so I did my studio audition and I got in. And I was trained by a man named Bob Hobbs, who none of you probably know, but he was an awesome, awesome teacher. And so they trained us in the classics. They trained us in everything, Tennessee Williams, Shakespeare, the Greeks, everything but August Wilson, because there was no August Wilson yet. But anyway, so I did that. And then I graduated in 76, bicentennial year. And I moved to New York. And I told myself that I was going to give myself 2 years to get my equity card. And I got my equity card the first week. Because a friend, an upperclassman who had graduated a year or two before me, recommended me to audition for what was then Performing Arts Repertory Theater and what is now TheaterWorks USA, which is the largest children's theater company in America, maybe the world. And so I auditioned and I got the job. And I got my equity card the first week I was in New York.
Wow.
Pretty outstanding, if I do say so myself. And so, I did that little tour of, it was a show called Freedom Train about Harriet Tubman. And did that. Then I did Young Mark Twain. And then I got some regional theater and did that. And then I got maybe like an off-Broadway show. And basically things took a long, slow kind of lift, with plenty of bumps along the way, and 3 children, and some glorious moments and some really, really desperate, oh my God, what am I going to do moments. I got to quit this. This is not working. I have to feed my kids. It's getting thin, but I managed to hang in there long enough, and enough people faded that I got a foothold. And I don't know what else I could say about that. It's it was a long journey. It was as I sit here now in my cabin on the lake, chilling, I realized that I worked really hard, but I didn't know it at the time because I was so desperate. I was so, when I had a job, I was looking for the next job. And so it was just nose to the grindstone kind of thing that I just kept plowing through all the obstacles and the blank spots and the holes and the hits. And I made it to this point where I can sit here and share whatever it is that I am communicate to you about what it is to be an actor, what it is to be a singer, what it is to be an artist, um, which is changing so much now because of the COVID and because of the technology and because of where we are. And it's very different. I mean, I look at what Lilli and my son Eddie and what they go through as young artists, starting out. It's so different from when I started out. When I started out, when you got an audition, your agent would call you up on the phone, like the real phone, no cell phone, the real phone, and then you would go. You had to go to the agent's office to pick up your sides. There was no cell phone. There was no computer. There was none of this stuff. No social media. None of this. So it's a completely different animal than it is now. That said, there's some things that are exactly the same, and that would center around your purpose and your understanding of what your gift is to the planet, and your faith in that, and your faith in the fact that if you just keep trying, something will happen. And on that note, I hand it over to my beautiful daughter, who just makes my life so much more happy every day, every time I get to look at her and think about. I I, I could go on, but I'm going to shut up. Go ahead, Lil.
No, please go on. Tell them how wonderful I am. Well, I mean, I that was pretty. I grew up with that guy as a dad. So how do you not want that, right? And I think I gotta say, like, I think you did a pretty good job, Dad, because as hard as it was, and however many moments there were where it was like, I gotta feed my kids and I'm on the unemployment line, none of us ran from it. None of us were like, gotta get out of this theater world. We ran to it. And that's how appealing it was. And that's how magical it is to me. So, yeah, I really grew up surrounded by the theater. Literally, I grew up on 43rd Street in Manhattan, New York City, in a high rise where I could see Times Square from my balcony, and I could see Broadway theaters from my balcony. So I was fully immersed in it, not only because my dad being a working actor, my mom was formerly an actress, but geographically, like, we always used to say that Broadway and Times Square was my backyard. So it felt very fitting for me to journey down that path. And I think I got a little different start because I was extremely shy as a kid. And I would often remember my dad would push me to introduce myself to people and say hi, and I would always hate it. I hated it. My dad would be like, "What's your name? Introduce yourself." And I just hated it so much because I was so shy. I was just I was just so inside of my shell. And so I started out actually as a dancer. I loved performing, but I wanted to hide behind something. So I started out as a dancer. And I think something really, really formative that happened to me at a young age that helped propel me into the world of theater and music is that in 7th grade, I got very badly cyberbullied. And talk about, a different time, like, this was the start of social media. This was before Facebook. This was before MySpace. And so it was really the start of this, like, new thing that was happening. And it was a really traumatic experience for me in 7th grade as a young girl. And I realized that I wasn't surrounded by people who were supporting me and who were friends who I could trust. And so in 7th grade, in the middle of junior high, I decided to transfer middle schools and go to a performing arts school, which I thinking, like looking back on it, I feel it was like a really brave move on my part. And I'm really proud of myself for it because I don't think I would be where I am today had I not made that choice. And so I left this, like, I had friends from middle school from when I was a kid, or from elementary school from when I was really, really young. I like left this kind of world behind and moved into this world of theater and arts and was surrounded by this different type of person, these wacky weirdos and these people who like understood me and connected with me and I considered to be my tribe and my family. And that's when I really decided that this is what I wanted to do. And so one of my first musicals that I did in 8th grade was Godspell. I sang Oh Bless the Lord My Soul. And my parents always describe, they've never really heard me sing before until this one show where I had my first solo. And my mom always described, like, she remembers it so vividly, talking about how, like, okay, yeah, she must be good, right? She must be good. I mean, it's in the genes. She must be okay, but we've never heard her sing. So, ooh, crossing our fingers. And you know, they watch the show and they're like, oh, yeah. Okay, cool. We're good. She's got it. And that was
like, what? Where did that come from?
At like 13 years old or something, right? So after that, I had the confidence to want to pursue this. And so I went to LaGuardia High School, which was the same school that my big brothers went to. So it was something that I always wanted to do and knew that that was my path and kind of my destiny. So I majored in drama, in acting in high school. And which is the same high school as the movie Fame, if you've ever heard of it. So a pretty big, famous performing arts high school in New York, right behind Juilliard, right behind Lincoln Center, you know, just like fully so immersed in this theatrical world. And my sophomore year, I did Hair. I did a musical, the musical that year, which was Hair. And luckily at LaGuardia, there are agents and managers that come and see shows because they kind of try to pick kids out of the crowd and see who they like and maybe start representing them. And so after one of the shows, an agent came up to me and gave me her card and was like, call me. I'd love to set up a meeting with you. And I wasn't really sure I really wanted to like perform professionally while I was in school. In fact, my school really didn't encourage it. They really wanted students to be fully immersed in school before they started auditioning. So it was something I sort of put in the back of my head. And it wasn't until months later that I called her. I remember it was a February. I called her and she was like, oh, I'm so glad you called me. I was literally thinking of you for this audition for this new show. Nobody really knows anything about it, but they want young people. And it's called Spring Awakening. And it's just a workshop and we just want you to audition for it. So my first professional audition was for a show called Spring Awakening. And I remember going in and I had to learn a new song in the room. The composer took me into another room and like taught me a new song. Like it was a scary, overwhelming process. And a few weeks later, I get a call from my agent that they had cast all of the women in the show, all of the girls in the show, but they loved me and my audition so much that they wrote an additional female part for the show. So I got the job and it was just so surreal and wild. I couldn't believe that that was even a thing. I was like, they do that? That's crazy. So, was it sophomore year? Yes. No, maybe junior year. I forget. Sophomore year, I think, of high school. All of a sudden, I had done this musical in my school, and now I'm about to go leave my school for a month to go do a workshop of a show. So I have to have tutoring, you know, in the rehearsal studio. I'm not going to see my friends for a month. I'm going to be away from all of my academics and everything. And I just had to throw myself into it and figure it out. And luckily I did. And that show really snowballed. It eventually turned from a workshop to an off-Broadway production to a Broadway production, which I opened my junior year of high school when I was 16 years old.
Maintaining what for a grade point average?
maintaining like a 3.6, 3.7, I think. Like doing pretty well. Like A's. I remember whenever I would get a B, I would cry. I would be like so upset whenever I got a B in school. So I was really academically driven too, right? So I had this like I was living this double life. I was being this grown adult doing a Broadway show at night, signing autographs, and then waking up at 5 a.m. to go to school, doing my homework on my lunch break, doing my homework between 3 and 6 before my half-hour call, you know. And I think the funniest part of it is like I'm so excited and so happy to be working professionally and making money. You know, I was 16 years old. I was like, I can buy things for myself. And at the same time, I wanted to have the experience of being a high school kid. So I took a day off to go to my graduation. I took a day off of my show to go to my prom. In fact, as a drama major at LaGuardia, you have to do a play at the end of the year to graduate with a drama diploma, whatever that means. I don't even know where mine is nowadays. But I decided to take a week vacation from my Broadway show to do a play at my high school. So that was me like living this double life. And it was pretty amazing and magical. And looking back on it, I don't know how I had the energy to do it. It's because I was 16. Like there's no other way. Very little sleep. Very little sleep. So I did that, and I always knew I wanted to go to college. So luckily I had like this wonderful run in this show. My run in the show was about a year and a half. And the entire original Broadway cast was starting to sprinkle off and leave the show. And I knew I wanted to go to college, so I decided to leave Spring Awakening to go to school. And I had been accepted to Vassar. And so I decided to leave the show and go to college. And it was a very surreal kind of switch, right? To be in a Broadway show in New York City and then go to college and like have some people kind of know who you are, have this like faux celebrity, which was really strange as an 18-year-old in freshman year in college. I decided to study film because I had been studying drama for the past 4 years. So it was really exciting to get into something that I hadn't really experienced before. I studied abroad in Prague at a film school for an entire year. So that was just like, it was really great to take a break really from theater kind of for 4 years. And luckily when I graduated, I still had my agents from when I was in high school. So I continued to audition after I graduated. I booked Wicked, the musical, right out of college, where I toured the country as the understudy for Elphaba, and I was in the ensemble. And it was the first time I'd ever covered a role, which is, I think, one of the hardest things I've ever done.
It is the hardest.
The hardest, absolutely. Swings and understudies are the hardest working people in the business, absolutely. So I did that, and then I continued to audition, and I got SpongeBob SquarePants, where I played Sandy Cheeks, and most recently, I got nominated for a Tony Award for my role Julie Nichols in Tootsie, which was just so surreal. It was so crazy. I just didn't. It was not. I still pinch myself. Like, I can't believe it happened. I'm like, is that real? Was it a dream? It feels like a dream sometimes. Sometimes I have to remind myself that it happened, but it did, and it was really cool.
Continues to be cool.
Yeah. Funny story about the day I found out I got nominated for a Tony Award. I really didn't think it was going to happen. So I slept through the broadcast. I was like, I'm going to set my alarm for after. I don't want to be sitting there watching and be disappointed, right? So I'm like rolling around in bed. I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm not getting any phone calls, so I guess it didn't happen. And I roll over and I look at my phone, and my phone was on silent, and I had like 60 text messages and 40 missed calls. And then my mom calls me, and I finally pick up. I'm like groggy. I'm like, hello. She's like, Lilli, where have you been? You got nominated for a Tony Award. Yeah, so that was like the summer before the shutdown, before the pandemic, and then this madness hit, and we've been trying to connect to each other via things like this and make weird Zoom art. And that's been the past year of our lives, sort of, which is kind of the video that you guys watched in the beginning of this is something that came out of me going to film school and my dad's love for Oscar Brown Jr. And it was my dad's awesome idea to make this music video, and we just shot it in one day up at his house in New Jersey, and I edited it. I was so excited to edit it that night.
Yeah, and we had so much fun. Oh my God! And as you know, as Lily was saying, it was a creature, very much a creature of COVID, of lockdown, of we were just hanging out here, twiddling our thumbs, and we decided to do something, and it turned out to be this great fun project
Yeah.
that we got together.
Yeah, so we're kind of planning on maybe doing a few more, and we're hoping that we can eventually. So it's been a little bit of a seedling that we're hoping will grow into more stuff, but yeah, there we are. So, and this is what we're doing now, zooming.
Zooming with you guys.
Zooming. So yeah, that's
Well,
my story.
those are both amazing stories, and thank you for sharing them. We're already getting questions coming in, but before we go to Q&A, we are going to introduce a couple of singers from OC who are nervous about singing for you guys, but I promise them that you're genuinely nice people and that you'll be kind and gentle and loving with them. I don't know who's up first. Who is up first? It's RJ.
RJ
This is RJ
slowly
Flood.
creeping into frame here.
This is RJ Flood. He's singing Nevermore from Beauty and the Beast. He's nodding his head, so I assume that's correct. RJ is only here for a semester. He was going to, remind me, RJ, OSU, is that right? You're muted, my friend, you're muted. He was going to another college. I'm just going to keep talking. He was going to another college as a music major, and he really wanted to do musical theater. So when COVID hit, he decided to come back here, and because this is where he grew up, and start looking at a little more options in his life and start exploring where he could do a musical theater bachelor's. And in his spare time, he didn't want to just stop studying. So he came here to OC because we're a community college that's local, that offers theater classes and music courses. So he enrolled in both here. And meanwhile, he's got accepted to West Texas, in their musical theater program. So that's who RJ is. So I'm going to mute myself and get off the screen. So he's going to sing this for you, and then any feedback and anything you want him to sing again, any phrase, anything like that, just let us know. Our beloved Gail Bissell is at the piano. She is one of our music professors. She spent about 20 years in New York. She's waiting. So that's who's accompanying us today. Oh, there she is. Okay. I'm going to mute myself and turn it over to the performer.
Thank you. Super excited. I was the one who had it all. I was the master of my fate. rage against the trials of love. I curse the fading of the light, though she's already flown so far beyond my reach. She's never out of sight. Now I know she'll never leave me. Even as she fades from view, she will still inspire me and be a part of everything I do. Wasting in my lonely tower, waiting by an open door. I'll fool myself, she'll walk right in. And as the long, long nights begin, I'll think of all that might have been, waiting here for
Beautiful.
Hello!
Hi. Wait, Dad, unmute yourself.
Sorry, you didn't hear my exclamations of wonderful. That was fabulous. Wow. My God, man. Really, really, really very well done. Very well done. You've been with this song for a minute, I would think.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been singing this song?
I started back on it right whenever I got here. It was the first song that I picked up whenever I got to OC, and I think that was February or late February, early March.
Uh-huh. Oh, good. It feels more lived in than that, which is good. So let me just think. First of all, tell me why you picked the song.
Well, we're doing this cabaret thing here at OC with, elements of acting and elements of music, and so we're kind of splicing it in. And so I came and I was like, "Hey, I'm here at your disposal," and they were like, "Well, you should sing this song for this cabaret."
So the song was suggested to you?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's a good song for you. The first thing I would say overall is you can give yourself more distance to travel in a song like this if the more still you are at the beginning. Stillness is your friend. Now, when I say stillness, I don't mean devoid of energy or devoid of focus or any of those things. I just mean devoid of extemporaneous movement and rooted like a tree. Okay. So that said, um, uh, uh, tell me. I want you to tell me the lyric "Up to the Bridge." Just speak it right now.
I was the one who had it all. I was the master of my fate. I never needed anybody in my life. I learned the truth too late. I'll never shake away the pain. I close my eyes, but she's still there. I let her steal into my melancholy heart, and I learned the truth too late.
And then what's next?
Now I know she'll never leave me.
Now I know. Great. Okay. Now I know is where you first bust out,
Yes.
right? So, first of all, be cognizant of what I call your money notes. And by that I mean those places in your voice that feel good to sing in. Okay? Let that guide you in how you sculpt the song. Okay? Um that first of all, let me just say that for me, singing is about two things. I like the metaphor I like to use is like a train going down the track. The train goes on two rails. One rail is the technical rail. One rail counts the beats, tries to figure out what the pitch is, the technical part of it. All right. The other rail is the emotional rail. The what do I see, smell, taste, hear, touch? What am I feeling? What do I want? What's blocking me? What's getting in my way? So those are the two rails that you simultaneously work on in the scene, which is what a song is. A song is a scene. As a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it's you start one place, and by the end of the song, you should be somewhere else, or we should be somewhere else in the telling of that story. Okay, so I want you to start again. I want you now. Often when I tell young singers don't move, then it becomes about not moving. And that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about stillness. I'm just talking about just bring the energy back a little bit. Iris in. It's almost as though the mo the reason why we sing in musical theaters because speaking is no longer working, and so we have to move into song. And so let the intro be the springboard into the mental thought of what you have to say. And first of all, tell me what it is you have to say.
I think I'm proclaiming love.
Okay. Who is it?
Belle, the, the princess.
Okay. And is this new? Is this something that's been happening for a while in you, or is it something that is dawning on you?
I think, yeah, dawning. I think I'm coming to terms with, you know.
Right, right. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to use the intro of the song. Track that in your mind and let the beginning of the song be the first time you formulate these feelings and thoughts into words. And I want you to be still until you get to, what did I say? It's like the bridge. It's like the um, I forget the lyric now.
Leave me.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Now I know she'll never leave me.
Yes, now I know she'll. And when you get to that, just for the sake of this exercise, forget about tempo. Forget about that. The pianist will follow you. I want you to live in that note, in those notes. When you say, now I know, you got great vowels, you got everything working for you there. Lay it in, okay?
Yes, sir.
Just for the sake of this exercise. Over the song, we would incrementally do what I'm talking about, but just for the sake of this, let's try that. All right?
Sure. I keep these on.
I don't know if that helps you or not. It doesn't bother me, but
I'll keep them on so that way I know when you're hearing or when I'm hearing. Okay. I was the one who had it all. I was the master of my fate. I never needed anybody in my life. I learned the truth too late. I'll never shake away the pain.
Okay, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you. Hold on. I'm going to stop you. Okay. Where are you looking?
Just above the camera.
And why are you doing that?
Because I don't want to look directly. I want to, like,
Okay. Well, the point I'm trying to make is I need to see what you're thinking in your eyes.
okay.
And I need to see what you're feeling in your eyes. When you stand and look at a spot in the back of the hall that you're in, I can't really detect that. So basically what I'm telling you is take it inside, bring it back more. You were hitting the back wall. We don't want to hit the back wall yet. We're just aiming for the footlights. Okay? As a matter of fact, we're going to go even closer. We're not even aiming for the footlights. We're in your head.
Okay.
Okay? All right? And slowly we move out of your head to the footlights. And by the time we get to I Know She Never Leave, we're at the back wall. Okay? So smaller, much smaller. That gives you more distance to travel. Okay? All right.
Can I throw something out there too?
Sure, Pumpkin.
I think I, we're digging into some awesome acting stuff, and I'm gonna throw some technical things at you because I think that you can take them because you're great and you can take more than one note at a time. One thing that's sticking out to me, well, first of all, I have to say, I love seeing you exhale before you even start singing. Just releasing
Mm-hmm.
and standing grounded. That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It shows me that you're in touch with your breath.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be aware of your breath throughout your singing. The first and second time you sang it, you took a breath in the middle of the sentence, I never needed anybody in my life. Would you do that if you're speaking? No, you wouldn't say, I never needed anybody in my life, right? So find the right amount of breath before the message you're trying to portray. It weakens a message if you breathe in the middle, right? So just be aware of those things. It happened a few more times throughout the song, but I'm not going to nitpick. I just wanted to throw that idea out at you just so that you have it, to use your breath just like you did in the very beginning to get through the end of sentences. Cool?
Excellent point. And I would just like to tag onto that breath support will help you with the lower notes that you're thinking about. You're thinking about them too much because you have them. And it's on and if you have enough breath, you will be fine in that.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotta react all of it. I was the one who had it all. I still there. I let her steal into my melancholy heart. It's more than I can bear. Now I know she'll never leave me, even as she runs away. She will still torment me, call me, hurt me, move me, come what may.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. That was good. How did that feel?
Oh, way better actually. I enjoyed being introspective and having somewhere to go. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good, very good. And that was we saw that as well. Um uh yeah. Wait, you have something to say, Lil?
Yeah, I thought that was, I saw a big improvement. And like you said, it was internalized. And I thought that that was beautiful. We want to see you discovering, we want to see you realizing, accepting, understanding in the
Right,
moment, right?
right, right. And speaking of moments, there's a transition that you need to make a little larger. And it's around the lyric, she crept into my life and she say the lyric for me again from the beginning.
I was the one who had it all. I was the master of my fate. I never needed anybody in my life. I learned the truth too late. I'll never shake away the pain. I close my eyes, but she's still there. I let her steal into my melancholy.
Okay, okay. I close my eyes, but she's still there. Okay. And what's right after that?
I let her steal into my melancholy heart.
Okay, yeah, I close my eyes, but she's still there. I let her. Okay, that is a transition. Okay, because what has gone before is you saying, I was fine, I was going, I was cool, but then she showed up and she won't get out of my brain,
Yeah.
and we have to change gears on that. Okay, all right. So we're moving right along now. The changing of the gears is not too huge, but it is a gear shift. We're going from first gear to second gear. Okay, that's a way to think of it. Think of it as the stakes are higher because now you're vulnerable. You were strong, and now you realize you're vulnerable. All right, does that make any sense?
Sure does.
Awesome, awesome. So let me see you try to make that. Let me see you make that transition, and try it again.
Yes, sir.
You did great. You're doing fabulous.
Yes. I was the one who had it all. I was the master of my fate. I never needed anybody in my life. I learned the truth too late. I'll never shake away the pain. I close my eyes, but she's still there. I let her steal into my melancholy heart. It's more than I can
Okay, I'm
bear.
going to stop you. I'm going to stop you. What I got from you that time was that you were perhaps a little annoyed that she has gotten to you. let me suggest that you're not annoyed.
Yes, sir.
Let me suggest that you are that there's something uncomfortable in how joyous it feels.
Okay.
Um, Let me suggest that something is awakening in you that that is beautiful
Okay.
and that is loving and that is tender and is surprising and new. So go back and try it.
Chuck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love all this great feedback, but I want to make sure that Gina gets an equal amount of time.
Oh, are we out of time? See, you
Well,
gotta keep me
yeah,
honest sometime.
I got to keep you honest sometimes. I don't mind if we don't have time for questions for you guys, but I do want to make sure both the singers get a lot of time.
Sure, sure.
So, as much as I love RJ, can I suggest we switch over to Gina?
Okay, though. RJ, awesome, man. Keep singing. You got mucho tools in your quiver. Okay.
Yeah. Really fantastic. We were just touching on this in the end. I'm just gonna add to it. There's something really beautiful in finding opposites. There's something really beautiful in finding what's unexpected, right? So instead of the irritation, the joy, it's this discovery of, is this a beautiful thing? Am I enjoying this? You know, finding the opposite of what you would expect. Something really beautiful in that. And I just have to point out what I loved this moment where you closed your eyes, and that was the second your fingers started moving. So you take one sense away, you need another sense to work. And that gives I love that you're not afraid to use your body, but give it intention. And so moments like that give using your hands intention, as opposed to just reaching out because it's a big note. You know what I mean? Like using that because you need to. So, but awesome job. Fantastic.
Thank you both so much. It has been an honor. Thank you.
Great.
Mhm.
Thanks, RJ. Great job. Next up is Gina Guzman. She's going to be singing Zing Went the Strings of My Heart. She's a music major here at OC, and I don't know a lot more about her because I haven't worked with her personally, but I hear she's fabulous. So I'm going to turn it over to her.
Great.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Gina Guzman.
Hi,
Hi,
Gina.
Gina.
Gina, I think we're ready. So whenever you want to start, let's hear it.
Never could carry a tune
Beautiful.
Yay. Awesome.
Just put your microphone on.
Okay, I'll do one.
Awesome.
Can you hear us? Great, awesome. Great job. I really like that song for you.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yep.
So this one's really fun because there's a modesty to it, right? But there's also confidence and gravitas to it, right? And those can be challenging to play together. And what stood out to me was sometimes we physicalize trying to find our notes in our body. Like when we're singing high, we'll push our chins out, or when we're singing low, we'll sing like this. You weren't doing that, but that was just an example. So when we try to physicalize finding our notes in our body, it can be kind of distracting. And so I noticed with your hands that there was a lot of like almost keeping tempo a little bit, right? And we want to find that internally instead of externally so that you're not showing that to us. Okay? So I would love the next time we sing it, and we're going to talk through more notes, and my dad's going to talk to you a little bit, but I would love, just as a challenge, for you to put your hands behind your back when you sing this song, and for you to show us the demure modesty plus gravitas and bravado with your voice, right? As opposed to any physicalizations. This is kind of what we were talking about with our other singer, that there's power in stillness. We don't want to go directly to using our limbs to express. Breath is so very important in this for so many reasons. It's important in everything we sing, but because of where this lies in your voice, which is, it's a beautiful tone and you have these notes, but what I'm missing is the full power of all of those notes and the full value of them. So what I'm hearing sometimes is kind of like how you let the air out of a balloon, and at the very end there's just a tiny bit left. We want you to have so much air in your balloon that you can keep going until after the note ends. We don't want it to feel that your balloon is empty before the note ends, right? And so that's using your breath physically. This might be a personal preference, but I love seeing singers breathe. I love seeing them physically use their diaphragm, not only to get out sound, but to act. This is a song about discovery and about wonder. Breath is integral to those things. This thing I just discovered is so wonderful, I can't help but sing about it. You know what I mean? So using that, not in an exaggerated, unnecessary way, but using it to give your notes their full value so that your balloon doesn't run out. Does that make sense? Cool. Do you want to hop in there on anything, Dad?
Yeah, that's very good. This is very good. Yeah, let's do what Lilli said.
Yeah, so let's try it again and keep those things in mind. Any shifting is gonna take me as the viewer out of your world.
Are you aware that you're rocking back and forth? You're doing it now as you listen.
So it's just a tendency, right? And it's good to just be aware of it.
Yeah.
Because we all have things that we have, right? Tendencies that sometimes we can be completely unaware of. So it's good to be aware of it. So be aware of the rocking. I'm taking your hands away so that you just can't do anything with them, which this isn't this wouldn't necessarily be how you would perform the song, but it's just going to be a challenge for you this time, right? And using your breath, don't be afraid to let me hear it. Don't be afraid to let me hear those inhales, hear those exhales, so that you give those notes their full value. Your lungs are a balloon. You don't ever want them to get emptied. You want them to be so full that as you're singing, you still have air to release, right?
And you know you need to fill your, I call it filling the bottom of the bucket first. When you breathe, you fill the lowest part. You should feel the air hit your diaphragm, which is like right around your navel. Put your hand on your navel, okay? And I'm going to ask you to take a breath, but what I want you to move your, when your breath should come in and move your hand away from your navel, and your shoulders do not go up. All right. So on a count of three, I want you to take a breath. One, two, three. Let it out. I wish I was closer so I could see you breathe better. It looked like your shoulders went up a little bit. Okay. Take another, put your hand firmly on your navel. And as you take that breath, feel your hand expand away, and the breath fill up from the bottom to the top of your lungs. All right. One, two, three. Breathe in, breathe out. Next time, I want you to breathe in on a count of three and breathe out on a count of three. Ready? One, two, three. Breathe in. One, two, three. Breathe out. One, two, three. Now, the trick is to do, sometimes you need to do that fast. You need to tank up fast. It's like you got to run into the gas station and get a full tank of gas in 2 seconds. So you got to go without the shoulders going up, fill up the diaphragm from the bottom. Got that? Okay, try it again. So now let's try the song, like Lilli said, with your hands behind your back, no rocking.
And to help with the no rocking, spread your legs a little bit, bend your knees, feel grounded, feel
Yeah.
like you're not going to fall over, you're not going to tip over. You don't need to catch your weight. You're grounded in the floor. Okay? Great. Let's try it again.
Never could carry a tune, never knew where to start. You came along when everything was wrong and put a song on my heart. Dear wind, you smiled at me. I heard a melody. It haunted me from the start. Something inside of me started a symphony. Sing went the strings of my heart.
Okay, that's good. We're gonna go back on that. All right. Okay. Would do you your the top you're wearing is that like a jacket? Your pink. Would you feel comfortable taking that off? Okay. So what I want you to do with the top of this song, don't discard it. Keep it. Keep it. Keep it. Hold on to it. Get it back. You need it back. Get your jacket. Get your jacket.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to give you an activity. Okay. So at the beginning of this song, you're going to be putting on your jacket. All right. Okay. But I want you to put it on slowly. Tell me what the lyrics are at the beginning of the song.
Never could carry a tune, never knew where to start.
Okay.
Everything was wrong and put a song on my heart.
Okay, you're gonna do one arm for the first half, for the first line, one arm for the second, the other arm for the second line. But I don't want you to think of it like, you know, you have to do it in time. What I'm after is giving you something to do that's natural that you would be doing while you sing this song. Okay? So you're 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 thinking about this this exciting new zing in your step, and you're putting on your jacket. All right? Let's just try that. Just take it slow and put one arm in and then slowly put the other arm in as you sing those first two lines. Okay? Let's try that.
Never could carry a tune, never knew where to start. You came along when everything was wrong and put a song in my heart.
That's fabulous. Excellent. I want you to go back and do it again. Okay? Take your jacket off.
What was so great about that was that it distracted you from the technical, all of the technical things that you're thinking about while you're singing, right? Because when you're overthinking all of those things, you can't help but second guess yourself and question everything. So giving yourself a distraction sometimes is a wonderful way to allow your body and your voice and your brain to just exist without overthinking everything. So great, let's do it again.
Never could carry a tune, never knew where to start. You came along when everything was wrong and put a song in my heart.
Yes, that was the first
Yes.
time. That was the first time that I felt put a song in my heart that you
Yeah.
had air left over at the end. That was the first time that I felt you didn't completely empty yourself. That was fabulous.
Really, really good. How did that feel?
Good.
Yeah.
I tend to be an overthinker, so that distraction really did help.
Yeah. Yeah. You're thinking way too much on the technical rail.
Yes.
We got to get you over on that other rail of what you're feeling and what you're thinking and what how the jacket feels as it slides on your arm, and what are the parallels to that smoothness, to your happiness, and the texture of the cloth, and what you're talking about, you know, and what do you see, smell, taste, hear, touch.
Yeah. And this is a joyous song. There's joy in it.
Yeah.
So let me see the joy in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love being able to hear a smile in people's
Mm-hmm.
voices.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between hear a song in my heart and hear a song in my heart. You know, there's a difference between those two things because one had a smile in it
Yes.
and one was just singing the notes.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So how about can we go from where we just left off through to the end? We might stop you, but let's just go from that point to the end and literally add a smile.
Yeah. Yeah. And every time you say zing, I want you to feel like somebody's hit you in the butt with a cattle prod.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. Yes.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. That was joyous. That felt joyous. I could feel your joy, right? It was contagious. And that's so wonderful. You hit me real good with the I love you.
Second time.
Oh,
Yep.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful. It's finding those nuances, finding those
Yeah.
differences, right? Pulling back to something quieter because it's more important and you need it to be just for you. It's finding those different levels that allow songs and performances to be multidimensional. And you're starting to find all of those little ones. And
Right.
it's really fantastic.
Right. Right. Very good. Very good. Um, I want you to try something for me. I want you to go back into the niche of the piano so that you're kind of leaning back on the piano. Can you do that? Are you in the all the ways back as far as you can be? Okay, now see where your hand is? Put your hand on the piano right there. All right?
Mm.
All right. That spot is the person you're talking to. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to caress that spot. I want you to tease it with just that hand. I want you to and I don't want you to sing it. I just want to hear the words. Okay? I want you to speak the words like it was a monologue, but you're speaking it to that spot where your hand is. All right? I want you to look at your hand, look at that spot where your hand is, and start saying the words to the song.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Loudly so I can hear.
Never could carry a tune.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you. Okay. Um, what are the words? Say the words right quick.
Never could carry a tune. Never knew where to start.
What's the bridge? Tell me what the words are at the bridge.
Your eyes made sky seem blue again.
Yes.
Blue again.
All right. Let's start there and make that point on the piano the person. All right.
Okay. Your eyes made skies seem blue again.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. If that's a guy you're talking to and that's the way you're saying that, you're not going to get very far. Okay. I want you to seduce that corner of the piano.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Your eyes made skies seem blue again. What?
Wait a minute. Okay, I want to go back. Okay, this is how I would do that line. Okay. Your eyes make the sky see blue again. All right? Try it.
Your eyes made the sky seem blue again. What else could I do again? But keep repeating through again, I love you. I love you.
What does that feel like?
Little weird.
Right. And that's what's coming across to us. All right. Do you know this person? I want you to be comfortable in sharing this with this person. And it's a kind of a sexy little thing. It's like a little intimacy. It's a little tease.
Okay.
Try it again. See what happens.
Your eyes made skies seem blue again. What else could I do again?
Okay, forget about rhythm. Forget about the rhythm of the
Mm-hmm.
song. You're just saying these words.
Okay.
Your eyes. What's the lyric?
Made skies seem blue again.
Your eyes make the sky seem blue again. Okay. Your eyes make the sky seem blue again. It that has nothing to do with the rhythm of the song. It's about the intent of the thought. All right.
Okay.
Try it again.
Your eyes made the sky seem blue again. What else could I do again? Just keep repeating, I love you, I love you.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go. Okay? Now sing it.
Your eyes made sky seem blue again. What else could I do again but keep repeating through again? Love you.
Fabulous, fabulous. You took a
Fabulous.
breath where you didn't need to, but other than that, it was good.
Yeah. It's great to be in touch with the composition of the song. That's ascending for a reason. Your eyes make the sky seem blue again. What can I do again? La la la, all of these things. I love you. I love you. Like that is the thesis. It's this
Right.
build, it's this build. I'm so excited to tell you these things. And then I can't help but bring this down quieter because it's so important. Right? Thinking about the development of the way the song is actually written and built and
Mhm.
using that to help your acting and your performance. Yeah. Great job.
Very good job.
Thanks for playing with us.
But I really do. And it was a pleasure to meet both of you. Thank you so much.
You too,
Oh, you're
Gina.
so welcome. It's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to meet you.
Eric, do we have time for a question?
I think we do. I saw several good ones in the chat.
I
Hey.
did, but we're down to very few minutes here. So, okay. Let's do, oh, it's a hard one to choose. I'm going to go with this one because I know a lot of my students asked it. They want to know if you guys still get nervous before performances.
Heck yeah.
Sure. Of course.
100%.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
You know what? That's what makes it makes you remember that you care. Because the second you don't get nervous is like, then you don't care.
Yeah, yeah. It's deadly not to care.
Yeah.
It's deadly. Yeah. And the nervousness is actually energy that you will learn to funnel and use.
Yep.
Because all nervousness is energy. It's just, you're like, I got this extra energy. What am I gonna do? Oh, came out my hand.
Yeah, right. And it's physical manifestations. It's sweat, it's shaking, it's like your heart beating fast. It's all things that are happening to your body that you can physically use. That's something that my dad taught me for sure. I would get super nervous. And I talk about it to all my students is using your nerves. It's really
Great.
helpful.
All right. Someone asked, what's your favorite part about performing?
Tumultuous, thunderous applause.
I was going to say all the money, right?
You know what I like? I like discovering something.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when I've been doing the show for a month and I discover something.
Ugh, yeah. Me too. Me too. And playing with other actors and artists who are really, really good and who discover things and who keep you on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a scene with somebody and they discover something, and then you're like, oh, I have to react to this new thing. I've been doing the show for a year, and all of a sudden I have to react to something different. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Oops,
Keeps it
I'm
fresh.
muted.
The theater, when you're doing it 8 shows a week, there is a framework that the show must exist within. We can't be like, doing crazy shit, right? But within that framework, it breathes and it lives.
It's an organism. It's a living organism.
It's a totally a living organism. And you are one cell in the body of this creature. And so on Monday, you may go through this aorta, but on Tuesday, you may go through a different aorta as you travel the bloodstream of the show, of the life of it. So there's a dynamic aspect that is always titillating. The audiences are going to be different. People come in that day, they're feeling different. So it it's about doing what has to be done, but also being present for what might present that wasn't there before.
Cool. Well, guys, that's our time. You two have been amazing. We are so grateful you joined us today. I know our students got so much out of it. I'm thinking that all of us watching got so much out of it. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
for having us.
I did notice so
Yeah.
many people in the comments, maybe our faculty or employees here at the college that were watching, and really were appreciating the sneak peek behind the curtain, so to speak, of the musician's brain and how you all prepare and teach. And so the evidence of the improvement of the two students that you were able to coach was also very clear to everyone, in the comment section. Just, wow, that's amazing. How could something so small make such a big difference? So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
I must say, it's really, really fun teaching and critiquing with somebody else, because it's really, really fun to have another set of eyes and the way that they describe what they see and feeding off of each other in that way. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. We're good, Lil. We got to do this more often.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you guys are actually good, because you two, I loved watching the two of you, because I could see both of you seeing the same thing, but then sometimes Lil would describe it in a way that was the right hook. And then sometimes Chuck, you would, and it was fun to sort of watch that dynamic between the two of you. So that was fun.
It's like you guys are related or something. That's crazy. Well, thank you very, very much for sticking around and helping us out. And we hope to see you again very soon. Stay safe. Enjoy your cabin out there. It looks very relaxing, Chuck.
All right, I'm definitely about to go fishing. So
That sounds great.
No, really, fishing? I can't see that. I can't see you doing that, Chuck. Sorry, that's what he does all the time.
Go figure.
We love it. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and thanks for tuning in and watching, and we hope to see you very soon at some of our events. You can check out our OC Facebook page, our theater Facebook page, and our music Facebook page for upcoming events right here in Odessa, and we hope to see you again very soon. All right, everybody.
Wait, we're going to end with another video.
We
right
are.
there.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to have to do a little bit of...
We're going to end with another video, this time of Lilli. So don't turn off right away, because we do have one of Lilli singing, so you don't want to miss that. Thanks again so much, you guys.
I'm broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Move mountains, we can walk it out. Move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and you know I feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, take the world to its feet. Move
That's my baby girl.
I have some notes.
That is your baby girl. You have notes?
Can you
Okay.
put a jacket on during the beginning of that? I think that would be good.
I cannot thank you both enough.
Thank you. It was really fun.
That was
Oh,
amazing. I already got a text message from RJ, your first singer, just going on and on about how grateful he was to have the opportunity to work with you two.
cool.
He was great.
All right. Well, we hope to see you again very soon. Jennifer, any closing words for everybody?
No, I just wanted to thank you guys again. You guys are the bomb. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having us. It was really sweet of you to.
Yeah. It's great to meet you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great,
Stay
great to
safe.
meet you, Lily, and miss seeing you around, Chuck, but
Yeah. You stay safe and
will do. Will do.
right.
All right, we'll
Keep in
chat
touch.
soon.
Okay.
Bye,
All
guys.
all
Thank
right,
you.
y'all.